everyone, welcome back. I have been addicted to my Revlon one-step hair dryer and styler for more than a year now. When I first started using this, I was blown away by it. I could not believe how well my hair came out using this dryer. I had previously been using other high-end appliances like the Drybar Buttercup dryer. The Drybar Buttercup dryer was actually the one that I had been using before I purchased the Revlon. I was very, very skeptical. I thought, how could a $40, $50 hair dryer do a better job than my expensive dryer and round brush that I've been using for years? But oh my goodness, this was life-changing for me. I did a demo using it, which I will leave in the description. I honestly have not touched a regular hair dryer since. This is so beloved to me. And I have had this same dryer for over a year. I've had no issues with it burning out, nothing, but at a price of usually under $50 on sale, I wouldn't even mind if it died now. I would just run out and buy a new one because I love it that much. However, I recently saw that Drybar was coming out with a similar dryer called the Double Shot, which is this guy right here. And this dryer is $150. So I was very excited because I do really enjoy a lot of Drybar's products. And as I said, I loved my Buttercup regular hair dryer. So I was super excited about this, but skeptical. I thought to myself, what could Drybar have possibly done differently to make this dryer worth such a high price tag, so much higher than this one? And I've been following along on their Instagram page, and a lot of people are asking that. Many people love the Revlon dryer and have been asking in the comments, what's the difference? And Drybar has pretty much ignored, as far as I could tell, they've ignored all of those comments. They'll answer other comments, but they don't answer those regarding the differences between the Drybar and the Revlon. So I ordered it as soon as I could from Sephora because I needed to find out. I'm willing to pay more for better quality. That's never been an issue for me. If something is better quality, I will pay more. But I also don't like the idea of a consumer being ripped off. There are very few things that get me all worked up, but someone taking advantage of consumers really does get me all worked up. And I'm not saying that's the case here. You guys are gonna have to determine that for yourself after you watch the video. I'm going to jump right into the demo. And during the demo, you'll hear my thoughts on the dryer and what the differences are that I'm seeing. And then at the end, I pretty much summarize it all for you. So without any further ado, I'm gonna jump right into the demo. Okay, so I've washed my hair. I've been letting it air dry, but I did apply a little of this Drybar Hot Toddy Heat and UV Protectant. And I wanted to let my hair air dry so that you all could see my hair's natural texture. Because in the last video I did where I demoed the Revlon dryer and I said that I had naturally curly hair, people said I was lying. No, you don't have curly hair, and no, my hair's not the curliest, but as you can see, it definitely has curl, a lot of curl to it. And if I used a diffuser, you would definitely see a lot more of the curl come out. So I do have what's considered naturally curly hair. You can definitely see a lot of the curl forming down here, and of course up top with these lovely cowlicks. So yeah, this is my hair's natural texture that I never show on camera. After I did my Revlon styler video, I did receive a lot of comments that said you should let your hair air dry more before you go in with the dryer because it'll be less damaging. And I've discovered that I actually do like to have my hair a little bit more damp than this when I begin the drying process. I just find that I get a smoother texture, a smoother result when it's more damp than this. So let's start. I've got my hair clip. I go right at the temple area and pull back the top part of my hair. My hair used to be a lot thicker, but as I've gotten older, it's definitely begun to thin. So I don't have a lot of hair here. And I do like to go in big sections. I mean, you can definitely see the wave pattern here, or curl pattern, whatever you want to call it. So let's start with the Revlon since that's the one I have plugged in. And this has the off, cool, low, and high setting. Again, in that Revlon video that I did, a lot of people said, I use it on the low setting and it's fine. It does a great job, but I have tried it on the low setting. It really takes me twice as long to get my hair smooth on the low setting. So I am gonna put it up to high. And this is the sound. Okay, so that was the Revlon side done in real time. You can see how it's silky, it's smooth. You can't feel how soft it is, but it is soft. So that is the Revlon side. Now, let's open up the Drybar. It's kind of hard to tell, but I think the width of the Drybar is smaller. The bristles are definitely different, although I've been using this for a year, so it probably would have been better to compare a new Revlon to a new Drybar, because see, this one has bristles all around it, like all around these little spikes or spokes, whatever you want to call them. There's little brushes, there's little bristles all around them. Whereas there's bristles in between. It's hard to tell on camera, I think. Oh, but there is an area on the Drybar one, just like on the Revlon, where there's no bristles around. So this area right here and this area right here, no bristles around. This area right here, this area right here, no bristles around. I honestly think that this Revlon probably does look the same when new, with the bristles nicely compacted around the little brush spoke. Clearly, I'm not a hairdresser or hair appliance designer because I don't know what to call these. Are these the bristles or are these the bristles? I'm just gonna call them all bristles. And on the Drybar, it has the same settings, except on the Revlon, it says off, cool, low, high. And on this one, it's just off, like a little snowflake for cool, one little squiggly line for low, and 3 squiggly lines for high. I have to say that the way they made it sound on their Instagram was that there was going to be a third option. I will clarify something about the heat settings later on in the video. So I'm also going to put this one on high. Sounds about the same. And I can feel the high heat coming on for sure. Side unfortunately took me a lot longer to do, so I decided it was best to fast forward through it. So first of all, if you were hoping that the Drybar version wouldn't be as loud as the Revlon, I'd say they're definitely the same in terms of that. I feel like I struggled. I feel like this side has even a little bit more frizz, whereas this side is smoother and it feels silkier, to be honest with you. All right, I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna take this part of my hair, the very top part, and because this one is the one that I have plugged in right now, the Drybar, I'm gonna try the Drybar on this part of my hair. It's not easy to turn on. What the heck? So the results are good, but I feel like I get the result that I'm looking for quicker with the Revlon. So I'm gonna unplug this. Now my technique might not be exactly the technique that Drybar shows, but this is what works for me and creates the style that I like. This is definitely a lot easier to turn on. Okay, minor issue. I guess I had too much plugged in because it blew my lights out. So now I have it plugged into a different plug. Okay, on this section, I would say the results came out about the same. Okay, on to the front section. Now, normally I do my front section like together, so I'm not gonna be able to do that this time. So again, working with the Revlon, this whole side's gonna be the Revlon. Smooth, shiny, silky, just the way I like it. This is why I love the dryer. Now it's time to finish off with the Drybar. Okay, so I have just finished both sides. I would say they look pretty similar. You really can't see a difference. If anything, I actually think that this side is smoother. And it took me a longer time to get this side smooth. In fact, I would like to go over it with the Revlon one more time. I will say this, and I think it's important for a lot of people who have said that this dryer just gets way too hot. I do think that the Drybar gets a little bit less hot. It's not quite as scorching hot as this one is. I could tell by how it felt when I would touch my hair. The Revlon does make my hair extremely hot to the touch. I'm just used to it, I guess. And I forgot to do one more thing. Usually I will spray before I begin, even though I've put in a heat protectant, I'll spray another light heat protectant like this one from Living Proof, just for an extra layer of heat protection, because this one does get so hot. And as I told you earlier, I cannot use it on the low setting. It just takes me forever. Kind of for the same reason why it took me a little bit longer, I felt, to get the sleekness I like from the Drybar, because it doesn't get as hot. So if the fact that the Revlon does get so hot was a deal breaker for you, perhaps you bought the Revlon dryer and ended up returning it because you thought it was just too hot or it was frying your hair, then you might want to spend the extra money and get the Drybar. But like it did for me, it might take you a little bit longer to get your desired result. So if you are looking for less heat, then the Drybar wins there. And as far as weight goes, they feel about the same to me. I haven't checked online to see their exact weights, but as far as how they felt in my hand, I don't personally find either of them to be super heavy though. As far as size goes, as I mentioned earlier, the Drybar is a hair smaller. The width of the Revlon appears to be about 2.5 to 3 inches, whereas the Drybar width at the bottom looks to be about 2 inches. I think there are a couple of other things I think are important to put in this video, which are the benefits, according to Drybar, of their product. It says that it has ionic technology that helps seal the cuticle for less frizz and tons of shine while styling. It says that it has strategically placed vents, provide maximum airflow for a faster blowout. The vents are definitely different on each of these. They both have the long slits on each side, these right here, but the vents in the Drybar brush are vertical and the vents in the Revlon are horizontal and sort of not wavy, but they have a little bit of a bend to them. And then this one says it's a combination of nylon and tufted bristles, allows for exceptional tension and control. Ergonomic, lightweight design provides maximum comfort. They're pretty much the same. 3 temperature settings, cool, medium, high, allows for customized styling of all hair types. See, I don't know why they're saying cool, medium, high. So I guess maybe there's no low. So let me check the medium. now I want to try that versus the low on the Revlon. The low on the Revlon, I would say they're about the same. The low on the Revlon is the same as the medium on the Drybar. So I have to say that I do not believe that the Drybar dryer is worth the extra money. In fact, I very likely will be returning mine to Sephora. I used the exact same drying technique on both sides and the results are no different. In fact, I think I've said this for the third time now. I apologize if I'm repeating myself, but I feel like this side is actually less smooth than this side. But you know, the heat thing, the fact that I don't feel like this one gets as hot could be worth it. Could be worth the extra $100 to some people. And another thing that could be worth the $100 to some people is just the fact that it's Drybar and that it's a cuter dryer. There are plenty of people out there, we all know it, that will buy something just because of the brand name, even if it's not any better quality. They just want the name, they just want the look. So I can definitely see people, a lot of people buying this dryer. But to me, in my honest opinion, it is not worth the extra money. Now, mind you, there are a lot of knockoffs of the Revlon dryer. I am only comparing this to the Revlon. I am not comparing it to one of those knockoff Revlon dryers that you see advertised on Facebook or Instagram from some random company that's using footage from YouTubers like myself and Lisa J and others who have done demos on the Revlon. A lot of these companies will illegally take footage from our videos, like the one I've done today, and use it for their knockoff and make people think that we're endorsing their knockoff, when the reality is we are using the authentic Revlon dryers. Okay, I keep forgetting things. I just pressed record to say one more thing. I have been using this dryer for, as I said, over a year. I clearly highlight my hair. I get it colored every 6 to 8 weeks. I get my grays touched up, and then I get highlights every 12 weeks. So she does use bleach, and honestly, my hairstylist has told me that my hair has never been healthier. It continues to grow. I don't have the breakage that a lot of people report. Perhaps it's because I double up on heat protectant, or maybe, I honestly don't know, but I have not had breakage with the dryer. I love it, as you can tell. All right, so if you guys have any other questions, please don't hesitate to leave them for me in the comments. I do try to read and answer as many as I can. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, please consider hitting that subscription button and the notification bell. I would love to have you as part of the Risa Does Makeup family. You can also find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter under the same username, Risa Does Makeup. Once more, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it and found it helpful, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon.